Hi, welcome to this video tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to use the MixPerfect player. This auto DJ player is designed to seamlessly mix audio files without significantly altering their pitch. Smooth and harmonious transitions are ensured, thanks to features like beat matching, beat filters, and options to exclude overlapping beats, bass, melodies, or vocals during transitions. Let's hear how smoothly the player mixes two songs together.
Don't let me go, girl. Let me go, girl. Don't let me go.
Sounds good, right? MixPerfect Player uses a database of songs from your own music collection. I'll explain more about the database later, but here's the cool part. You can create random playlists based on your favorite settings. For example, I can adjust the maximum number of songs, set the BPM order of the songs, and choose one or more genres. Next, if I navigate to the Playlist tab, I can create either a random or custom playlist. Both options generate playlists based on my settings. Let's click on Create Random Playlist. As you can see, a new playlist has been generated. If I don't like it, I can simply create a new one. By the way, in this section you can also press key shortcut Alt+R to generate random playlists. Now I will show you how to create a custom playlist. Here you'll notice two panels, a pick list on the left and a custom playlist on the right. The pick list contains songs from the database, filtered based on your settings. So, the songs displayed here match the genres you've selected earlier. Keep in mind that the number of songs in the pick list can vary if you change the settings. Let's create a short mix. First, I'll sort the BPM and select the first song. Click the Add button to move it to the custom playlist. The pick list will now reload with songs that can be mixed with the one in the custom playlist. Again, the filtering depends on the settings. For instance, in the current settings, the BPM range is set to 2. This means the pick list only shows songs with a BPM that's 2 units higher or lower than the current song. Let's select the next song. And another one. And one more. And let's search for a specific artist. I add that one as well. Alright, now I want to preview the last transitions. I'll click here and then press the play button. Sounds great. However, if I'm not happy with the transition, I can delete the last song and replace it with another. I'm happy with this playlist, so I'll click the Apply button. Now my custom mix is loaded into the player. Easy, isn't it? If I want, I can export the mix to an MP3 file to play it on another device or share it with friends. Another handy option is Save Current Playlist. This allows me to reload my custom mix later, even if I've switched to another playlist in the meantime. Now let's take a closer look at the settings. If you've made changes to the settings and want to start over, you can always restore the default settings with this button. In the Directories section, you must select a folder containing your audio files. Without this, you won't be able to add songs to the database, so it's the first step you should complete. Optionally, you can also add a folder with album art, which will be displayed in the player. However, this is not required. Playlist length. Here, you can set the minimum and maximum number of songs in the playlist. You can also define a minimum and maximum duration for the mix. This allows you to create very long playlists, or even an infinite playlist. Shorten songs. This option lets you decide if the playlist should contain shortened songs. If you select random, songs will alternate between being played in full or shortened. Unique songs before repeating. This feature prevents repetition of songs. The selected value determines how many unique songs will play before a previously played song can repeat. For example, if this is set to 100, you'll hear 100 unique songs before there's a chance of repetition. Speed section. If you want the playlist to start at a specific BPM, you can set the value here. Otherwise, a random BPM will be chosen. BPM order of songs. This setting determines whether the speed of songs in the playlist changes in ascending, descending, or random order. Maximum BPM distance. This option determines how much the pitch can be adjusted. Lower values make pitch adjustments less noticeable. The default is 2.0, meaning the pitch won't be adjusted by more than 2 beats per minute up or down. Pitch reset. This setting adjusts the pitch back to the song's original speed after mixing. This allows playlists to include songs with very different BPM values while keeping adjustments minimal. Transitions. Filter overlapped beats. This setting determines which songs have filtered beats during transitions. Filtering beats can make transitions sound smoother. Combine beats. Choose whether beats from 2 songs can overlap during transitions. The default is yes, which results in overlapping beats. Combine bass, vocals, and/or melodies. By default, these elements do not overlap, resulting in more harmonious transitions. However, this reduces the number of possible mix combinations. To generate longer playlists, you can enable the option Always Combine if no match is left. This will allow some bass, vocal, or melody overlaps if needed. Finally, the filter boxes allow you to select specific criteria, such as artist, year, country, record label, or genre, to generate playlists tailored to your preferences. Simply hold the Control key and click with the left mouse button to select multiple items. You now know how to create playlists and how the settings work. Now I just need to explain to you how to add audio files to the database so that you can create your own mixes with your favorite songs. There are 2 ways to add songs to the database: directly through the database panel or indirectly via Files tab. In this panel, you can import your audio files, listen to them, and add the songs that you like to the database. Also, you can see the BPM of each song. This is especially useful if your database is still empty or contains few songs. Why? Because you can first add only songs that have little difference in beats per minute. If you don't do that, you may not be able to create playlists because the BPM differences between the songs are too large. Now, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to actually add a song. Because my database already contains thousands of songs with varied beats per minute, I choose to do this via the database panel. Let's pick a song. How about this one? You might remember it from the Eurovision Song Contest in 1996. First of all, we need to set intro markers, so let's listen to how this song starts. I use this button to play, but you can also press spacebar to listen or stop playing. These beats are perfect for mixing, so let's mark them as the intro. Because the melody starts here, this is a perfect endpoint for the intro, so I will set an intro end marker here. As you can see, the yellow color indicates the intro. This is an estimate calculation. Therefore, it is recommended to check if the start marker is exactly on the first beat of the intro. That's not quite the case here, so let's correct that. The next step is to place the break markers. Here starts a section with only beats, so perfect for mixing in another song. Let's place a break begin marker right here. Of course, I also check the end marker. And it also needs to be moved a bit, so let's do that. The following things I'm going to do are not mandatory, but recommended for the best results. First, I will listen if there is a bass, a melody, a vocal, or beats in the intro. I only hear beats, so I'll check that box here. Now the break. Here also only beats, but also a vocal at the end, so I check both boxes. Next, I'm going to check if I've placed the markers correctly. I do this by clicking on the Beat Sync Test button. In this window, I can listen to the intro and the break, but with an extra snare drum playing over it. This way I can hear if the drum is in sync with the beats. If so, then the markers are on the right spot. Sounds fine to me, so let's go on. As you may have noticed, the MixPerfect player can play songs in a shortened format. If you want to use this, you must place skip markers. To do this properly, we have to place the skip markers each somewhere on the same sound fragment. I'll demonstrate it. Let's listen to how it sounds. I did it right because the cut is not audible. Now it's time to fill in the song details. These will appear in the player. It's not mandatory, so you can leave the fields empty. You can't see it here, but I'm using Discogs.com as the source for the song details. This field allows multiple genres to be entered. Each genre must be separated by a comma. This is useful if you want to generate a playlist based on one or more genres later. Now we're basically done, but for the sake of completeness, I also want to show you how to make a loop. As you heard before, the end of the break contains a vocal. Suppose we don't want that. We can shorten the break and add a loop. I'll show you. I place the break end marker at the beginning of the beat where the singing starts. Then, I place a loop end marker just before the break end marker. I place the loop start marker 4 beats back. Now I right-click on the loop. In this field, I fill in how many times the loop should play. That is 2 times in this case. I could also have made a loop with more or less beats. In that case, I would have had to fill in a different number to get a total break length of 32 beats. Let's listen if it works. Nice. I also want to show you the fade-out option. For this break, a fade-out is not really necessary. But for a break that ends with loud sound or during singing in the middle of a sentence, this can be very useful to make the mix more beautiful. Of course, the intro can also be faded, but then from quiet to loud. There is also a mute marker that you can only use in the break. Use this marker if you don't want to hear the last part of the break. I'll give an example, but first I have to restore the previous break markers. Okay, now I place the mute marker exactly before the singing. And the vocals are gone. However, I like these vocals just fine, so I'll undo the mute marker. Now all that's left is to save the song to the database. The song has been added to the database, but I have not yet shown all the possibilities of the markers. That is why I am now going to open this song and explain to you what you can do with the pre-start marker. You can use the pre-start marker to indicate that from that point on the song can be mixed in. This can be useful, for example, if the intro starts with singing in the middle of a word or sentence. Just listen to how this intro starts. When mixing in the intro, we want to hear da-da oompa and not oompa. So I'm going to put the pre-start marker in the right place. Let's listen to the result. Perfect. A similar marker is the break continue marker. This allows us to let a break continue a bit longer during mixing. For the next example, I'm going to open another song. Suppose you've used the beat sync test button and notice that the beats are not in sync. If you are sure that you placed the markers at the right position and any loops repeat correctly, you can place one or more breakbeat marker on the beat positions to correct this. Sometimes this is necessary with old vinyl recordings. I will let you hear how the beats go out of sync in this intro. And I am going to correct this with a beat marker. Let's try again. If the beats are in sync now. That's it for this tutorial. If you need more info, check out the help section. It explains everything in detail and also provides useful key shortcuts. Enjoy MixPerfect Player, and good luck!